Do you want to fight me on air, land, or sea? All three of these? Well, fine, but I'm gonna bring some spies, lies, and supplies. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Life of a Board Gamer. My name is Daniel, and today we are going to take a closer look at the game called Air, Land, and Sea, and its successor, standalone expansion, however you want to call it, Air, Land, and Sea, Spies, Lies, and Supplies. So this is a standalone game, but it can be combined with this one. You can have like a huge game in 2 players, or maybe play on 3 or 4 players, stuff like that. So yeah, since I never reviewed any of these, I'm going to show you what you get in both of these boxes. So let's get onto the table. Let me show you what you get in these boxes. I'm repeating myself, and then we are going to extensively talk about both. Okay, let me show you what you get in both of these boxes, because I haven't reviewed this game by now. So first we are going to look at the Air, Land, and Sea, because this one came out first. Basically you got the rulebook that explains you how the game plays. Super easy game. There's like 10 pages of this small rulebook with lots of pictures, so this is pretty easy to understand game. You will get 3 of these theaters that you will be battling for. They will be standing between you and the opposing player. On the other side you can see it's explained all the 6 cards in each theater, what they do, because in this game all you get is 18 cards, 6 of each theater, and you need to play those cards. You play one, of your opponent plays one, and you play those cards until one of you wins, or one of you surrenders and gives less points to a winner, because that's an option in this game, which I absolutely love, and we are going to talk about it later. But yeah, you get these 3 theaters that you will be fighting over for. So as the game is called, we have air, we have land, and we have sea. So you get some cardboard tokens to track your points. Really nice looking cardboard tokens, but nothing like special to talk about. And you get a bunch of cards. Not a bunch, 18 cards, and as you can see, some of them, like this is a 6, this is the strongest card in the C theater, and if you play it over there, it will bring you 6 points to that theater for you to win that theater, but it has no special ability, while let's say number 2 has some special ability on it to flip some other cards. You can maybe flip this card on this side, and now it's worth only 2 points, because each of these cards can be always played face down like this and into any theater. Usually you need to play them in the correct theater if you don't break the rules by playing some cards, but then you can play them like this and they will worth 2 points. And yeah, you get a bunch of cards, as I said, like 6 for, not like, you get 6 for each of the theaters, and you will be playing these cards, and at one point you can surrender if you see that you are going to lose, that you don't have a chance to win. So this is when these cards can come into play, because whoever is the first player will have this card, and the second player will of course have this card. And over here it tells you, if you still have 4 or more cards in your hand, and you can clearly see that you are not able to win this game because you were dealt like a bad hand, then you can say that you surrender, and your opponent will get only 2 points, and you play until somebody has 12 points, and that's the end of the game. And if you wait until the very end when you have 0 cards in your hand, and if you lose, which is a gamble, but you can try and go for it, then you can win or lose 6 points, depending if you are winning or losing, of course. And this also tells you that the first player always wins tied theaters. So if in a, let's say, C theater, I have 6 and you have 6, then I as a first player will be a winner, or you if you are a first player. And basically that's all that comes in the game of Air, Land, and Sea. And now let's take a closer look about new standalone expansion that can be combined with this one, but also you can just get this and play the game. So this one is called, it has like a subtitle said Spies, Lies, and Supplies. So now, again, you are explained all the rules, all the wording, everything, and how to combine this with the base game in the rulebook itself. But now you have 3 new theaters to fight over, and that's economic, diplomacy, and intelligence. And of course, on the other side, all the cards are listed, so you know each card that is played. Let's say on the opposite side, you don't need to take it to read what it is. You can read here, even though these These letters are pretty small, so if you don't see good, you'll probably need some glasses to see through it. And this game comes with a little bit of something that others game don't, that this game doesn't have, the base game. So again, you get these two cards, so you know who the winner is, who the loser is, who's the first, who's the second player, how many cards, and all that you just saw. And again, you get 6 cards in each of the theaters. Of course, the 6 does not have any ability, but it's worth 6 points. And the number ones are usually like with some great abilities, but they're just 1 point worth. So you get 6 for each of the theaters, of course, and these are a little bit more complicated. But what is this? You have 2 more cards. So this is if you want to play an epic mode of the game that we are going to talk about, then you will be using these cards. And again, you get some coins to track your points, these cardboard tokens. Since this can be played as standalone game, or you can combine it with the base game, as I said. But you also get these influence tokens, because you can now influence different theaters and put these tokens to add +1 or +2 or plus however many you manage to stack in each of your theaters. But basically that's everything that comes in these little boxes. Okay, so that was Air, Land and Sea and its standalone game, Spies, Lies and Supplies. I constantly have to read this one because I can't remember it. So yeah, these 2 games are absolutely brilliant. When I first played this one, I thought it's a brilliant game. I knew I wanted to do a review of it one day when it comes to it, but when this one showed up out of nowhere, for me at least, and when I played it, I knew I want to do a comparison video. So yeah, since I never talk about any of these games, I'm first going to talk about Air, Land and Sea, and then I'm going to switch over on this one. So basically, everything I say about this one, I think about this one, but then I will add some of the stuff for this. So Air, Land and Sea is absolutely masterpiece of the game. I don't know how they create games of 18 cards that have so clear and so easy to understand rules that like you can teach a 5-6-year-old to play this game. I mean, he will not have the strategy of the adult person, but they will know how to play cards and what the cards do. But still, have 18 cards and have so much strategy, so much meat of the game. It is just insane. I find it every time I encounter games like this, my mind gets blown. How is that possible? How can't I do something? Can't I design something like that? But yeah, Air, Land and Sea, it's a wonderful game for 2 players. And it has something that I haven't seen in other games, at least I don't think I saw the mechanic, where you can back out sooner in a game, so you can give less points to your opponent. So this game is played up to 12 opponents, and if you stay until the very end, if you play all your 6 cards, because in this game you have 18 cards, I forgot to explain that, and each of the players will get 6 cards, and the 6 cards will stay face down, so you don't know what's there. And you will play the games, try to influence different theaters, all 3 of them, and whoever has the majority in 2 of those theaters, whoever wins 2 of those 3 theaters is the winner for that round. And if you stay until the very end, if you play all your 6 cards and you lose, your opponent gains 6 victory points. That's half what he needs to win the game. But if you figure out by your cards that you will not be able maybe to win 2 of those 3 theaters, you can back out way sooner in the game when you have 4 cards in your hand, and you will give him only like what, 2, maybe 3 points. I can't really remember. It says on the card right there how many points it gets, but that's the beauty of this game. You can deduce by yourself if you will be that good, so you can try to push your luck sort of a little bit and try to stay a little bit longer in the game to feel the opponent out, see what they have in their hand maybe. And there were times when I backed out, and I was right to do that because my opponent would destroy me. But there's also time when I thought, oh my god, he's going to completely destroy me because he never played any C cards. That's because he doesn't have any, but I thought he has them in his hands, he's guarding them, he's keeping them for the very end, and he's going to take over the theater from me, and then I will lose all. He will gain like 6 points. And I decided to back down, and he didn't have any C cards. He had a bunch of lands, and I would probably want that one if I stayed until the very end, but you never know. So that's the beauty about this game. That's the most beautiful thing I like about it. I like everything about it, but that stuff, that rule that you can back out way sooner when you have more cards in your hand and give less to your opponent, less victory points to your opponent. It's absolutely wonderful. And now we are going to talk about Spies, Lies, and Supplies. It plays exactly the same. You have 18 cards, you will get 6 of them, your opponents will get 6 of them, 6 will stay hidden, and you go and play with the difference that there's also now those tokens that will bring you some extra influence in each of those different theaters. And over here it's not air, land, and sea, but it's I forgot, it says over here intelligence, diplomacy, and economics. So, but the thing is, when they do stuff like this, when they have a great game on their hands, and when they make another one in a similar fashion that plays the same but has like some different abilities on the cards and stuff like that, usually those abilities tend to be more complex, more hard to understand how they work and everything. And with Spies, Lies, and Supplies, that's not the case. The abilities on the cards are a bit more complex, but still they are very intuitive. They are very easy to understand, and to the point. Usually, when to the point that I will say it, I like this one more than this one. It's just this one is the abilities are more cunning, more elusive, so to say. I can't find the right words right now. This one is really straightforward. You're just going against each other, but with this one you have to be very careful because the opponent can really swing stuff into his favor really fast. I played the game when I was sure that I'm winning. I was 100% sure I was winning, and then everything just flipped in 2 turns. I knew that those cards are out, but I decided to take a risk. I mean, out. That the opponent might have them, but I decided to take a risk, and it backfired. Also, my opponent thought, yeah, man, I have 3 6s. I am definitely winning this because the 6 is the most valuable card in this game because it brings you 6 in that theater. And he had 3 6s, but I had so much cards that can flip those to the other side, and there were 2 points. It was just insane. But yeah, I like this one more because it's more strategic, it's more thinky, but not in a way that you need to like have more understanding. It's still really easy to understand how the cards work. It's still really easy to play them in your way, to work your way better. Because sometimes, you know, what I'm trying to say is sometimes when they come up with these new games, these types of games, they tend to overcomplicate stuff just for the sake of complicity. Like here's the same game, but it's way more complicated needlessly. So here they did it, but it's not needlessly more complicated. It's really straightforward. It's still easy to understand, but it's more complicated. I know those two things don't make sense, but trust me, it just does. So yeah, Air, Land, and Sea, it's wonderful. Not wonderful, it's an epic game. I love this game so much, and this standalone expansion is even better. So if you ask me, should I get this one or should I get this one, I would say you to get both. And why is that? So with both you can play with both these games, you can play up to 3 or 4 players. Now I don't have interest in that. I never played this game in 3 or 4 players, so I don't know how it works. I presume it works okay, but what I have interest in is that you can mix and match however you want these theaters and the cards. So you will just need to take the cards depending what theaters you are playing. So you can mix and match those however you want, which now makes the gameplay even more interesting. But you can also play like this huge epic game where you will have 5 theaters and you will have way more cards in your hand, and you will try to win 3 out of 5 of these theaters. And it's just wonderful thing. But yeah, if you are in a market for a 2-player game that has really easy rule set and it has so much meat on it, like so much strategy and everything, check out Land, Air, and Sea. It's wonderful. And check out this expansion. If you decide, if you by by this video, by the end of this video, if you decided, okay, this is something that I'm really interested in and I think I'm gonna like it, then get both, because if you will like one, you will get the second one, and then you will be sorry that you didn't get the second one also. So that's how I'm confident that this is a great game that I recommend you. When you get this, get both of them instantly. They're awesome games. So that's all I have to say. I said a lot about them, but I really like them. So thank you all for watching. Thank you for subscribing. My mouth are just dried up. I need to go and drink some water, and do join me next time when we are going to review something else. I don't know what, but we are going to drink some water before that. And until then, pozdrav. What's up, everybody? Welcome to yet another comparison, and that's the wrong intro. It's not, doesn't go like that. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, okay, or both of them, or this one or this one. You need both. But yeah, it's stupid. I always think I'm gonna say something that's not over here. So yeah, basically this is stupid again. So I'm not going to repeat this who knows what time in a row, but yeah, today we are doing a comparison and games that can combine it with each other, and that's all. That's not it just brings complexity up more. I'm trying to find the correct words. I'm rambling right now because I can't find the correct words, and so 5 minutes of rambling, almost 10 minutes of rambling, and I need to go from the top. Yeah, nice.